Yeah, no, I think after this I gotta go vote. Hopefully it's not busy.
Yeah. Where are you living?
I'm in Wisconsin, so we're
Where
kind
in Wisconsin?
of Milwaukee.
Okay, my fiance is from La Crosse.
Oh, nice. That's about like 3-hour drive from here.
Yeah, but his family now lives in they live in Madison.
Okay, that's like an hour from here. My friend lives.
Yeah.
Nice. Small world.
Crazy. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna hit record and then we will get started. Okay. Welcome to the Make It interview series. My name is Tara, and today I get to interview Zoe. If you could please, Zoe, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about where you're from, where you went to school, and why you chose what to study.
Hi, my name is Zoe. I am from New York City, Manhattan, and I am finishing up my senior year at Carnegie Mellon University studying vocal performance.
That's awesome. How did you choose vocal performance in Carnegie?
So I always loved to sing when I was younger, and my parents always joked that I sang before I spoke. And I was lucky enough to attend LaGuardia High School, which is a performing arts high school on the Upper West Side. Um, and there I started to sing opera, which I'd never sung before. And it really opened my eyes to this whole new world of theater that I didn't really even know existed. And so, when looking at what to study, I was considering a lot of things. I was considering teaching, veterinary school, environmental science, but I couldn't imagine not going a day without singing opera. So that's kind of what really did it for me.
Wow, that's incredible. I love that you had these other options, but you're like, this is the one that needs to happen. That's great. So you kind of knew right away. How'd you choose Carnegie Mellon?
So Carnegie Mellon was a great choice for me because I was still interested in teaching and then really interested in environmental science. And so at Carnegie Mellon, you can double major or minor and take any other class for free that doesn't have to do anything with your major. So I could take whatever classes I wanted to. And I ended up taking my sophomore year of college music education classes. I took methods courses in strings, woodwinds, and brass. I took a principles of education class. And it was awesome. And now I'm taking a history course that I really enjoy. So I've just been able to spread my wings a little bit, and that's not necessarily the case at conservatories that are strictly arts based, like Juilliard or Curtis or Eastman. And having going to a conservatory definitely has its perks also. But if you want to kind of branch out and explore other fields as well, a university setting is really great for that.
That's a really good point. I had like no idea, this realm is unfamiliar to me. And I think that's great for students to hear as well, because we have a lot of students who are in music or thinking about going to something music and arts. So I think that's a great like distinction for them to hear.
Mhm.
So what are some things that you really liked about Carnegie Mellon and your program and things that you've learned?
Well, first of all, my private teacher, Shari Gruber, is the best thing that's ever happened to me. She is a phenomenal teacher, an amazing mentor, and someone that I consider almost family. And when you're working in the arts, finding a teacher who can really be that for you is so important because art is all about giving so much of yourself and being so vulnerable. And to find someone that you feel safe with is really, really important. So, the most important thing above all is to find a teacher that you love and you feel comfortable with, regardless of what school that is. Doesn't matter if you go to Juilliard, if your teacher is someone that you feel uncomfortable around or you feel nervous around, because that's you need to have a safe space in the studio. So that's something that I feel unbelievably blessed with. I also feel really, really lucky that Carnegie Mellon brings in wonderful people for master classes and for seminars and convocations. I've gotten to coach with an incredible man named Pierre Valet, who is a world-renowned conductor, conducts at the Met, and I've been able to work with him, and he is just fabulous. So I feel so lucky that I'm being exposed to people who work in the real world and who can give insight as to what it's like to be performing in Europe, or what it's like to be, singing these roles in smaller theaters versus larger theaters. And so that's also something I feel really lucky about. And the third thing would be that Carnegie Mellon gives out scholarship money to students who apply for different funds and grants. They get a lot of money from donors, and I received a $6,000 grant to study music in Scandinavia and World War II, which is something that I'm really interested in because my grandfather lived in Denmark during World War II, and he and his family had to escape from the Nazis because we're Jewish, and he had to escape to Sweden. And there's all this information that people don't know a lot about Danish physicians who actually made this happen and helped to smuggle Danish citizens across the border. The fact that people were hiding in lifeboats. There was a Danish underground that people were traveling through. And a lot of Scandinavian music isn't really performed today. So I submitted this request to go over there and research this topic. And I was graciously given the grant. 2 students are given the grant every year, a music student and an architecture student. And when COVID permits me to, I will be headed over there to be conducting my research. And then I'll be giving a seminar and concert at Carnegie Mellon when I finish.
That's an incredible opportunity. That's
Yeah, I feel supremely lucky.
Yeah, just first of all having those great like professors and people kind of advocating for you and making you feel safe, so in order for you to like fully spread your wings, and then the fact that this grant and how much it means to you, and also just how like cool it is, that's incredible. That Go you, like that's awesome. Thank you for
Thanks.
sharing that with us.
Thank you.
What are some things that maybe you didn't like about your experience, or that you would like change or add to?
I think coming into it, knowing how intense the workload is, I guess nothing really prepared me for that. And when I was in high school, I was taking all different sorts of classes. I had my music classes, but I also had science and English and history and language, whatever. But going now to Carnegie Mellon, even though it is a university, it is still a conservatory program within the university. So I was doing music 24/7, and it kind of threw me for a loop in this new crazy world of from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. I was in classes that all had to do with music and were dance, acting, very physical. And that's, I guess, the biggest thing is the physicality of music. I was always just this in high school, this super scrawny kid, couldn't even do a push-up, like was and I came to Carnegie Mellon, and on my syllabus for my voice teacher, I am required to do exercise, I think, in my 3 or 4 times a week, to strengthen my core, strengthen my body, because I didn't even realize how much singing has to do with what shape you're in, your physicality. And that there's this kind of false stereotype of the fat opera singer, which is completely untrue, because what people deem to be the fat opera singer is actually a very strong woman who can like I've had classes before where women have said, try to push me, and I've tried to push them and they were solid as a rock, and it just blew my mind that these women have so much core, back, pelvic, like strength all over their body, because when you think about it, the act of singing in a hall without microphones over a 50-piece orchestra to the back of a hall that seats 5,000 people, and you can't damage your voice, you need to be able to protect your instrument. That is something that requires so much strength. And it really, I think, threw me for a loop. And I'm still kind of trying to get into shape and trying to understand what it means to be part of this field, because I never really understood that it was an athletic sport in many ways.
I am like completely thrown because I knew like I appreciate the arts, but obviously, that kind of ended for me in high school. But I remember talking to a friend about a cappella, and I was like wanting to audition, and she was like, well, singing, it involves a lot of core strength. So I had an idea of like, obviously you need to have, and then when you think of people performing, how can you sing and dance and do all these things at the same time and like not be panting and out of breath? But how you just explained it, like really painted a picture of that's a lot of power. That is a very powerful woman. That is incredible.
And if you do it right, if you see the singers who end up still singing into their 70s, who have pristine voices that are still clear, no nodules, no polyps, no scratches, it's because they have been using their instrument right. Your whole body is your instrument, not just this area of it.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that, because it blows my mind. And I wish you luck on your
Thanks.
collegiate journey and your learning of all these things and you're building up strength. That's incredible. Um, so what are some other experiences that you have built into your college experience, whether it's extracurriculars and whatnot, that have really kind of shaped you as you've gone throughout college?
Um, as a voice performance major, there isn't a lot of time for much else, especially as you begin your studies. I took 16 classes my freshman year, not like credits, not units, 16 classes. It was insane. But a lot of people that are voice majors decide to get involved in a cappella. My best friend is the music director of an a cappella group on campus. A lot of people get involved in sororities and fraternities. The sorority and frat life on campus is smaller than at other places because Carnegie Mellon is kind of a nerdy school. But a lot of people still choose to be involved in that. And again, like I was saying earlier, a lot of people minor and double major in things. Coming into the school, we were all, my class of 10 of us, we're all voice majors. Now there are 2 business minors, an English minor, and a double major in I think German. So people really decide to spread out, and also and a conducting double major as well. So people really decide to spread out their wings academically. Socially, Carnegie Mellon is not the most social school, I'll be honest. If you're looking for a place to have lots of fun, Carnegie Mellon is probably not that place. I have a lot of fun in my work and in my craft, but it's not the kind of place where it's the kind of place, let's say, where the RA will have to encourage students to get together. Sorry, did I cut out for a sec? Okay, good. So to encourage students to get together on their floor and have a movie night, because people are very, very focused. So I have a very different college experience than a lot of my friends. A friend of mine goes to Syracuse, and it feels like a whole other world over there. Because it's just something that I don't experience. I work a little bit off campus. I used to babysit and I worked at a restaurant. But for the most part, it's just really just a lot of studying.
It's a different kind of fun.
Yes.
I yeah, that's thank you for sharing that. I go to like a smaller campus, or I graduated from a smaller campus as well of mainly engineers, and so when you said the RAs have to encourage them to have a movie night, like I see that. But I think it's also like a beautiful environment that you're in, although it may be different than a stereotypical like college campus. It's nice to be surrounded by people who have the same like intentions as you. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the library is open 24/7. We have incredible, incredible resources there. And if you go on a Friday or Saturday night, you'll see a bunch of people there studying. It's just a different kind of environment. And it's not the wrong or right kind of environment. It just depends on the kind of environment that you're looking for. But that being said, I have friends that are partiers, and they are able to seek out the right crowd, and they're able to find their people, and then live off campus with their people and have their own sorts of fun. So there are ways of doing your own thing, for sure. I mean, it's really what you want to make out of it, definitely.
yes, exactly. Thank you for sharing that. And so what do you see yourself doing post graduation, or what are some things that you want to take away from this experience and um, go into post grad?
So I really love musical theater as well, and I've always been really interested in crossover careers, such as the career of Kelly O'Hara, who does lots of kind of legit, they call it Broadway, which is just like not a lot of belting, but like the more classical roles, um, and but also does opera. And I've been very interested in that kind of singing and that kind of career. So actually, after graduation, I'm getting married in June, and then in July, my fiance or my husband and I will be moving to Denmark to begin my studies there in terms of the research grant. And I will be taking the year off to just explore different teachers, different coaches, to explore what it means to be a musician in Europe, and to kind of start to forge my own path. He's going to be auditioning. My fiance is a little older than I was. We met at Carnegie Mellon. He was a master's student in opera, so he also sings opera. Um, but because he's already graduated with his master's, he's now in a different realm than I am. I would still probably go to grad school, and he's looking for young artist programs. So he's going to be looking for an agency to represent him, and we're just going to kind of take it day by day and see what Denmark, what it all brings us. So it's really exciting. It's really daunting. But there's something really thrilling about the idea of starting fresh in a new place. And right now we're doing a lot of work getting in touch with different people, and he's making videos to submit to different agencies, and I'm setting up lessons with teachers, which is super exciting. Everyone's just been so lovely, so I'm so excited for that.
That is going to be a huge leap, but that sounds like incredible. I am so excited for you to. You're kind of taking a year off, but you're also like doing so much in that year to try things and discover next steps and your studies. Um, that wow, that is exciting.
Thanks. I mean, it's like a year off. Like a lot of my classmates are going into grad school right away, but I'm taking the year to kind of see if I want to go to grad school in Europe, or if I want to go to grad school in the United States, or if I don't want to go to grad school at all and I want to perhaps just start doing musical theater or whatever it may be. And what I feel really, really lucky that at Carnegie Mellon, my teachers are um, have been world travelers and have been really leading me in the right direction in terms of, oh, in this place in Sweden, I know this really great person. I worked at the opera house there. I can connect you with her, and she knows a lot about Swedish repertoire. And like, so I've been getting so much great knowledge. They've been guiding me in the right direction. So it's scary, but I'm not alone in this, and is I feel really lucky.
That's great. I'm glad that you have that support system. And so now thinking about all of your experiences that you've had and have yet to come, what is a piece of advice that you would give other students who are still exploring what they would like to do? Maybe they're fresh out of high school and they don't know what they want to study or if they want to go to school yet.
I would say my advice is, well, first of all, a year off is okay. Um, there's a lot that can be done in a year. A lot of self exploration, a lot of discovering about yourself, about your environments, about the kind of place you want to be. I grew up in New York City and I was looking at different schools in the middle of cornfields. And it was all so much for a 17-year-old to say, do I want to spend the next 4 years in a school where where it's a city or that's like too much like home, or do I want to go somewhere that's too much not like home? And so for people that don't know what to do, it's okay. And my fiance, he went to University of Wisconsin-Madison for his undergrad, and he went in undecided, didn't know what he was doing. Halfway through his first semester, he ended up deciding to be a music major, and so he had to stay a semester extra. So when he graduated in December, he had a whole rest of the year to kind of figure out the next step, and that's when he started looking into Carnegie Mellon. Breaks aren't an indication of failure or laziness at all. And I would also say that if you know there's a school you're passionate about and want to explore more about it and don't yet know exactly what you want to do, it's okay to come into that school unsure. And it's okay to think, I really love singing. Is singing what I want to keep doing? That's okay too. There was a student that came in, a classmate of mine, was a voice major for 2 years and decided, actually, singing is not really what I want to do, and has switched over and now is studying German almost full time. And so it's okay to come in unsure. You're not the only one. Most people aren't sure. So whether or not it's a break you need or to just say, I don't know, that's all right.
Thank you so much for, sharing that advice and those personal anecdotes with me and the viewers today. I really appreciate you sharing like your journey and your next steps. And I'm excited to continue seeing where you go.